We are now going to have a great opportunity to hear one of the Vancouver specials, as he's known, because he talks about them a lot. Charlie Demers was born and raised in Vancouver. He's a much-loved activist and comedian, a regular performer on CBC Radio, One's The Debaters, and he's also co-host of City TV's comedic panel show called The City News List in Vancouver. And he's an author. He's been featured on national radio, in print, as well as in festivals and live venues across Canada. Please give a very warm welcome to Charlie Demers.
Joey Hartman, everyone. Can you keep the applause going? Speaking of women's working class history, first female president of the Vancouver District Labour Council is your master of ceremonies tonight. And at the time, everybody was like, well, how did Joey get past, the old conservative guys and, the crafts and the trade, and it was close, but they were all just like, oh, what'd you say his name was? Okay, Joey, that sounds fine. It is, this is a true story. Joey organized the conference, the Pacific Northwest Labor History Association conference, where I met in 2005, the love of my life, my wife of 12 years, Kara. We met at a conference that Joey organized. So, whenever I have the opportunity to perform at some sort of feminist political event that Joey puts together, I want to be involved because they are, in my experience, a great way to meet chicks. Did somebody boo? I feel like that's right. I feel like this is a left-wing party has never been together for this long without splitting. So, how about a big round of applause for all the singers, the choir and and I apologize. They're obviously, you can see there are microphones set up, so I have to be over here. I'm going to favor the left, but we all knew that was going to happen anyway. It's a real honor to be here. I am a union person through and through, all the way back to conception. In fact, when my parents met as PSAC workers in the late 1970s and brought me into the world, and then my dad was BCTF. I am such a union guy. In fact, my old national rep from the Canadian Auto Workers is here tonight. I saw him come in. Roger Crowther, where are you? Roger, stand up and give the folks a wave. There he is. Roger Crowther. And I mean, this is where I get to brag a little bit. I organized a union in my workplace before I had even lost my virginity. Yeah. I was in my mid-30s, and no, that is a true fact about my life, but it's only about half. Oh, he was really young, and then, oh, he was really old. But I, of course, am a union member, and I love doing union gigs. I love doing a union gig because, it's not so much about my performance. It's just, did I show up? I should let you know, I tell that joke to test how hip a crowd is. And no, I actually am just back from a union. I'm a member of the UBCP, the Union of BC Performers, which is part of ACTRA nationally, and we just did a taping in Winnipeg. And this is a true story. The Winnipeg Comedy Festival did a sales promotion for this year's festival. Union members could buy gala tickets for $19.19 to commemorate the Winnipeg General Strike. Very cool. And actually, the entire city of Winnipeg has been totally on board with commemorating. In solidarity with the strikers, the Winnipeg Jets refused to advance to the second round of the playoffs, which took a lot of guts. A lot of historians have grappled with this question of why Winnipeg? How come it was Winnipeg where it all kicked off in this radical way? I think that what it really boils down to is that the rich people in Winnipeg are bigger pricks than the ruling class in the rest of the country. Here's how. So those of you who know Winnipeg will know that the rich neighborhood in Winnipeg is called Tuxedo. That's an unnecessary provocation. Can you imagine a bunch of rich assholes get together and go, what are we going to call our neighborhood? That'd be like if Kitsilano was called Yoga Pants. That is, they're thumbing their noses at the... I saw one of those Lululemon bags the other day. I was crossing the street in Kits. And speaking of Kitsilano, Mel Lahan was here. He's not here. He had to leave at intermission. Mel Lahan, before the show, I said, Mel, I love your hat. And he took it off and tried to give it to me. The most Melish moment of my life. But Mel Lahan's neighborhood, Kitsilano, obviously it's not full of Mel Lahans these days. There's a lot more of the sort of Lululemon. And I saw a woman was crossing the street. She had a yoga bag that had just little bits of wisdom written on the side, you know? Little injunctions to lead your best life. You know, it said like, do something that scares you today. One of the things it said, sweat once a day. And I said, oh, way ahead of you, yoga. Way ahead of you. Here's how enlightened I am. Sometimes I'll wake up in a sweat. It is an interesting time for the left, right? This is, you know, because right now things are very scary, but there's also things that were, you know, are going on. Like my family, we were in Puerto Vallarta in February, sort of the Winnipeg of the South. So everyone in Mexico right now, every working class person you meet in Mexico right now is thrilled because they just elected a socialist president. Lopez Obrador, everybody's super excited, everybody's full of confidence. And it was so amazing to bring, we brought our daughter down. Actually, my daughter's here tonight. Josephine, do you want to say hi? That's Josephine. Josephine is a family name, but in the Russian hall we have to pretend it's after Stalin. It was part of the rental agreement for the show tonight. So we went down to Mexico, and it's just fantastic. We knew we were in for just a beautiful trip. The moment we left the airport, we saw the flag, this giant Mexican flag, and Josephine said, that's the most beautiful, and it is. If you've ever really had a chance, look at the Mexican flag. It is it's detailed, got gorgeous allusions to Mexican history and Aztec mythology. If there's any criticisms to be offered, and this is coming from a really friendly place, it's almost too detailed. Like, the flag of Mexico almost looks like Mexico designed their flag before they talked to any other countries. Just about what flags were going to be. Because you can imagine Mexico at a big meeting of all the countries 150 years ago. Like, hey, do you guys have your flag yet? Because, okay, this is going to blow your mind. Okay, so it's red, white, and green, okay? And in the middle, there's an eagle. And the eagle is standing on a cactus. Now, under the cactus, there are laurels. And you know how laurels are usually two sprigs of the same species of leaves? These are two distinct species of leaves. It's two different sprigs, but they're tied together with a ribbon of red, white, and blue. Now, the eagle that's standing on the cactus, it's fighting a rattlesnake. And you know, the eagle's got the rattlesnake in its beak, the rattlesnake's got its teeth out. Not totally clear who's going to take this thing until you look closer, and you will realize that the eagle is also gripping the rattlesnake in its talons. So, yeah. Italy, did you, Italy, do you guys got any? Italy, do you guys have any flag plans? Italy's like half talking to somebody else, huh? Yeah, we'll probably just do the same as you, just red, white, and green. Anyway, it's a leaning tower. And of course, Mexico would just be apoplectic. They'd be like, you guys, this is your flag. This is the first thing everybody's going to see. You can't just, Nepal, help me talk some sense into these guys. Nepal is like, probably not a good time to bring this up, but we're not even going to do a whole flag. I can tell that joke here because that joke really works better if the audience has done the research. I didn't realize that Joey was sitting in judgment over my set this entire time. If you're looking for the least empowering way to deliver stand-up, this is it. I feel like you should have numbers to live. Of course, the Americans, on our continent, they're the real flag lovers, right? The Americans are obsessive about their flag, right? There's a whole section of the U.S. populace that thinks that all you have to do to win an argument is just shout the colors that are in the flag. Just red, white, and blue, baby! Red, white, and blue! Woo! What I love about that is that red, white, and blue, statistically, by far the most popular color combination for national flags. There are fully 28 countries on Earth that have red, white, and blue flags. The Dutch flag, the Russian flag, it's so, and yet you would never know it. To hear an American, it's just like, they just get a big old 10-gallon dude from Texas. Woo! These colors don't run, baby. Red, white, and blue. Yes, yes, red, white, and blue. You better shut that creme brulee hole, Pierre. Talking about my three favorite colors, baby. Red, white, and blue. Yeah, that's right. Go back to France. He's talking about that red, white, and blue. Oi, oi, oi. Y'all found out my last nerve, baby. Red, white, blue. Yes, red, white, and blue. I am also enthusiast of the Republic of Serbia. I told that joke one night, and there was an American guy in the crowd. He was a real good sport. He came up to me after the show. He's a guy from Chicago. And he says, good labor town. And he comes up, he says, I know you're having a bit of a giggle there tonight about the flag. He says, granted, we may not have the most unique color combinations in the world, but I don't think anybody's forgetting about the stars and stripes, baby. And he was a nice guy, and I didn't feel like pushing it. I didn't have the heart to tell him that stars and stripes, also very popular flag design. It's just only so many things you can put on a flag, right? The Colombian flag is stars and stripes. The Syrian flag, stars and stripes. Even the Confederate flag. You understand, when the Confederate States tried to break away, start their whole new own country, they still couldn't think of anything else to put on the flag. So you best get, Yankee. Take them stars and stripes with you. What? No. These are stars and bars, if anything. Somebody get that kid out of here. Just kidding, that's my kid. Kara and Josephine got here just at the intermission. They went out for Mother's Day dinner. They were having a nice Italian meal on Commercial Drive. They were at Lombardo's, which, is the feminist choice, right? If you go to two divorced Italian restaurants. I grew up in East Van. The first years of my life were in East Vancouver when it was very Italian. Italian was actually, it's a true story. My dad's Francophone, my mom's Anglophone. And that's why, they were both in PSAC. And at the end of the day, I wouldn't speak. I would gesticulate and speak in this, what they would struck them as baby talk. But I would tap my feet and I would gesticulate. And my mom and dad said, maybe he's a late talker. Maybe we'll go see if he's talking during the day at daycare. So they went to my daycare at Nanaimo and 33rd. And they asked the lady, they said, does Charlie ever speak during the day? She said, oh yes, he speaks perfect Italian. And that's a true story. And that's why I do, I mean, like, obviously, French Canadians, we speak a lot with our hands, but you put us next to an Italian, I mean, it's amateur hour. Well, I mean, as we pronounce it, amateur. But, well, you know, so I was talking to a friend of mine who's a comedian named Johnny Parada. And as you can tell, that's a very Italian name. Johnny Parada. The only way that name could sound more Italian is if he had a middle name in quotation marks. You know what I mean? If I said, this is Johnny Fingers Parada, you would know. So I'm talking to Johnny, and you know, he's giving me the whole conversation. He's what I call the Mediterranean metronome. And you know, there's a little bounce on every syllable. And when he's happy, I'm getting these. And when he's angry, I'm getting these. And as I'm looking at him, I'm watching his hand, the whole conversation, I keep thinking, Fitbits. Fitbit must be totally useless for the entire Italian community. There are no usable data. I look down at my watch, it's 9:30 in the morning, I already got 10,000 steps. Then I remembered I just had that argument about peppers. I was hoping to go on a bigger laugh than that. But I have already been paid. Now, I will say, you know, we're raising a child in the 21st century, and that's why so many of the bread and butter issues that we've been talking about tonight, childcare, education, those are so crucially important, right? It's been 100 years since the Winnipeg General Strike, and it's kind of amazing the things that we thought we wouldn't be dealing with, and still are, 100 years later. You know, like fascism and measles. You know, like, my daughter was born in 2014. I thought all my parenting worries were going to be super futuristic. Like, oh, cyberbullying or whatever. No, the things that keep me up at night, Nazis and whooping cough. And you know, but it's been a long 100 years, and so many of what we're hearing tonight still resonates today. I mean, obviously there are some changes. It would probably be gluten-free bread and roses. But it's a crazy thing to think that we have to, you know, confront these ideologies that we thought we had left dead in the 20th century. The idea that anyone is going around talking about white supremacy in the year 2019 is so depressing. It's like this ideology for which there is no evidence. There's nothing to support the belief that white people are better than anybody else. That's so crazy. The best you can say about us is that we tend, on average, to have better desserts. That's the one thing I feel pretty confident. And I learned that the hard way, because I'm married into, as I said, a Chinese family, and, you know, people always say, oh, the Chinese are so thin. It's a mystery. Try the desserts. But even then, right, that's not, you know, so yes, okay, the European desserts tend to be sweeter and richer, and but even that is just a, you know, not to be a, you know, Marxist materialist about it, but it's really just about a prosaic fact of geography, right? The reason that Europe tends to have these sweeter, richer desserts in its history is because the fruits in the more temperate climates tend, on the whole, not to be as tasty or sweet as the fruits that grow in tropical countries. That's all it comes down to, right? It's such a mundane, banal little thing. If you got two kids, one of them gets an apple, the other one gets a papaya. Obviously, the kid with the apple is going to invent cupcakes. So even if there were, you know, like hardcore, you know, European pastry racists, you know, and they were like giving the gears to like a guy from India, they wouldn't have a leg to stand on. You know, they'd be like, why didn't your people invent the creme brulee? Or if you're so smart, why didn't you invent the Black Forest cake? The guy from India would be like, because we can grow mangoes. You understand? Just with the power of the sun and rain, we can grow fruit that tastes like God is kissing your mouth. 15 minutes into an anti-Nazi stand-up set, you still didn't feel comfortable with me doing that voice. Thank you all for coming tonight. It was an honor to be part of it, and it was just a pleasure to be here. Thank you.
Thanks. Thank you, Charlie Demers. I'm holding up a 10. All right, and the evening is not over. This is terrific. So, what am I to do next? I am to introduce Salt Thief. Yes. How lucky am I? Brothers John and Tony, Kastelik. Yes. Left their home in the dusty prairies of southern Alberta and set up operation in the salt and rain of Vancouver, British Columbia, creating the world's one and only stereo viola folk rock band. Not often you hear those words strung together. Their music blends fiddle, folk, rock and roll, and a touch of disco for good measure. Salt Thief were finalists in the Left Coast Labour Chorus's first ever We Do the Work song contest in 2018. Their song that they won with was called Promised Land. So please, give it up for Salt Thief, and I won't stand where you can see me.
It was such a lovely night. It was really a treat to be in the audience for that first half. My thanks to those who brought up those stories, for those who acted it out, made the videos, and for the choir who brought it all to life. It's important to keep those stories alive, because otherwise you forget and then they disappear. You can't bring back something that's forgotten.
Let's give a high.
We got a few songs for you tonight, and this first one's called Who's Gonna Help Me? When I wrote it, it was a song about having a hard time and being alone. And when we first performed it and all my friends sang along, I realized that when I ask for help, I have friends around who've got my back. All the songs we're gonna sing tonight are songs you can sing along with. This one's called Who's Gonna Help Me? If I can't help me, who's gonna help me? I'm a long ways down, who's gonna help me? If you won't help me, who's gonna help me? It's a long ways up, who's gonna help me? I've been sitting in my room staring at the ceiling. I've been sitting all alone, I need another point of view. I've been sitting in my room, I need to change the scenery. I've been sitting all alone, I wonder what I'm gonna do. Oh, I went to the doctor, doctor, can you help me? I got naked in my heart, I'm having trouble sleeping. He said, take this note, take it to the pharmacy. It'll help with the pain, but it ain't gonna cure you. So I went to the church, Father, can you help me? I don't believe in God, I don't believe in anything. Oh, I went to the church, Father, can you help me? He said, you're already lost and no one here can save you. I've been busting up my hands trying to make some money, 'cause everybody's saying you gotta make some money. I've been busting up my hands trying to make some money, but I spent it all on cigarettes and coffee. Don't be like me, boys. So I went to my love, said, baby, can you help me? When I stumble, when I fall, baby, will you catch me? Oh, I went to my love, said, baby, can you help me? She said, I've troubles on my own and no time to help you. If I can't help me, who's gonna help me? I'm a long ways down, who's gonna help me? This is your part. If you won't help me, who's gonna help me?
It's a long ways up, who's gonna help me? All right, here we go. All right. If I can't help me, who's gonna help me? I'm a long ways down, who's gonna help me? If you won't help me, who's gonna help me? It's a long ways up, who's gonna help me? All right, here we go. If I can't help me, who's gonna help me? I'm a long ways down, who's gonna help me? If you won't help me, who's gonna help me? It's a long ways up, who's gonna help me? Let's do that one more time. If I can't help me, who's gonna help me? Sing along. Hey. I'm a long ways down, who's gonna help me? If you won't help me, who's gonna help me? It's a long ways up. It's a long ways up. Who's gonna help me?
Thanks, everybody.
Thank you. Thank you so much. So John and I, we're musicians. We do music for a living. We do a lot of different types of things. Nights like this is one of those things, obviously. We're part of the union in Vancouver. We're part of the local 145 Musicians chapter, the Vancouver chapter of the Musicians Union. I bet you there might be some other 145 members out here tonight. Are there any?
It's just us.
Might
We
be just us.
feel like we're all there, so it's all right.
I wanted to kind of echo what John was saying earlier. It was great to hear these stories of women on the front lines of labor activism. I just wanted to add to that this is a narrative that's not isolated in history, that this is still ongoing. It's still a struggle that we see being kind of enacted today. Like there's still this gender gap in wage and in opportunity in a lot of workplaces, I think. And I think, one of the things I want to say is that we are musicians in a community where it's quite challenging to play music, I think. So a lot of our problems, I think they maybe have a little bit of resonance with some of the types of things that we're talking about in the labor movement as well. So this one's called Promised Land. It's about working and living in Vancouver as a musician. Here we go.
All you people looking for shelter will make a stop in the promised land. All you people coming from everywhere, far and wide to the promised land. But we won't stay long, 'cause they're building up condos. Ain't no room in the promised land. Whoa, 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 all you people working for pennies, tooth and nail in the promised land. Day and night we're burning the candle. Got 2 jobs in the promised land, and we got no cash, so we put it on plastic. Won't last long in the promised land. Whoa, 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 whoa. 62 floors all sitting empty. A waste of space in the promised land. The milk's gone sour and the bees are all dying. Empty streets in the promised land. 'Cause one by one we're going back where we came from. Walk away from the promised land. Walk away from the promised land. Walk away from the promised land. Whoa, 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 whoa.
Thanks, everybody.
Thank you.
We just have one more tune for you tonight. Thanks, everyone, again for being here. The choir's back up right after us, so you're not going anywhere anyways, but I'll tell you just the same, stay where you are. And hats off today to all the mothers everywhere. Yeah. Thank you so much, mothers. Hope everyone remembered to call your mother. I remembered a little late in the day, but I did it.
That might have been why I couldn't get it to her at the same time, since she was busy with her 6 children's calls.
Our mother is a saint, and I was going to dedicate this next song to her, but it's not really the sort of song that you dedicate to your mom.
It's the type of song you dedicate to everyone's mom.
Yeah, maybe, because mothers are brave souls. This one's called Black Cloud. This is another good sing-along. This is about some of the things that are pissing me off lately when I read the news.
This one's got a great sing-along.
Read the local news today.
Here we go.
Haul 'em all away, boys, haul 'em all away. The whales are doomed, but that's okay. Haul 'em all away, boys, haul 'em all away. Reconciliation's now at hand. Haul 'em all away, boys, haul 'em all away. It's time to flood ancestral land. Haul 'em all away, boys, haul 'em all away. There's a black cloud over us. Haul 'em all away, boys, haul 'em all away. Endless lies and broken trust. Haul 'em all away, boys, haul 'em all away. Someone put the apes in charge. Haul 'em all away, boys, haul 'em all away. They got the country's credit card. Haul 'em all away, boys, haul 'em all away. We bought a leaky oil pipe. Haul 'em all away, boys, haul 'em all away. And pay 3 times the asking price. Haul 'em all away, boys, haul 'em all away. There's a black cloud over us. Haul 'em all away, boys, haul 'em all away. Endless lies and broken trust. Haul 'em all away, boys, haul 'em all away. none of this makes sense at all. Haul 'em all away, boys, haul 'em all away. Merry Christmas, border wall. Haul 'em all away, boys, haul 'em all away. There's a black cloud over us. Haul 'em all away, boys, haul 'em all away. Endless lies and broken trust. Haul 'em all away, boys, haul 'em all away. There's a black cloud over us. Haul 'em all away, boys, haul 'em all away. How the hell they come to this? Haul 'em all away, boys, haul 'em all away.
Thanks, everybody. This is my brother, Tony.
My brother John on the left here.
It's been a pleasure playing for you tonight. We're Salt Thief.
Thank you. We're going to get the Left Coast Labor Course back up here. Stay around.
What a treat. Well, I think you've just got about 200 new groupies, and if we spread the word enough and get enough of a fan base, maybe they can quit one of those 2 or 3 jobs, because it's a hard way to make a living, but what a great sound, and thank you. So now we're going to be inviting the choir back up, and we're doing a bit of set change, so I'll take the opportunity to do some thank yous. And also, I was asked if I would make a brief announcement. Many of you will have known Art Kuby, who was a really terrific leader for us in so many ways, who died several months ago. There's going to be a public celebration of Art's life on June 8th at 1:30 in the afternoon at the Operating Engineers Hall. If you're not familiar with the location, it's on Ledger Avenue, just north of Canada Way. And if you need the address, we can help you with that as well. But I, of course, didn't write it down when Gudrun asked me to. So, Gudrun, if you wouldn't mind just standing up, people can come and get it from you. Thanks. There she is. Okay. So, we would like to thank the BC Labour Heritage Centre. It wasn't written in full, and I'm going, okay. BC Labour Heritage Centre for being a co-sponsor. The Graphic History Collective. Joan Bryans and our 3 actors tonight, who were Annie Smith, Lindsay Nelson, and Jamie Wanacott. Sandra Walton, who did stage managing tonight. Yom Shamash, who did the audiovisual. Doan Beer Company for the beer. And lastly, for Pierre on sound. Thanks so much to everybody. Pierre and Chris on sound. Thank you. I knew I'd heard a different name. Okay, so back on stage, we have the Left Coast Labor Chorus. Is Salt Thief going to join us again too, or is that happening? Salt Thief coming back, or is Left Coast Labor Chorus? Here, listen. Okay, you're back over there. Yay. Okay. So Left Coast Labor Chorus has 2 more songs. One is Rise Again, and the other is Stand Together. The lyrics for Stand Together are on the back of your program, and they would like to invite you to join in on the final chorus. And so, over to you.
I can feel the spirit building, soft as a whisper, loud as a roar. I can feel something a stirring, like I never that you don't need
that you don't need
You lay me off.
You lay me off.
No work you say.
No work you say.
But you expect
But you
to see my
expect
head
my head
a-hanging
a-hanging
as I pack and walk away. But with my brothers and sisters so proudly we'll stand, and the working folks of this country will rise again. Mother, Mother, John, our brothers Sam, Helena, Gutteridge, Ginger, Goodwin, they were our voice, spoke truth to power. They gave no thought to giving in. We will rekindle that spirit, my friend, and the working folks of this country will rise again. I can feel a spirit building, soft as a whisper, loud as a roar. I can feel something a-stirring, like I never have before. We've been quiet too long, my friends, and the working folks of this country will rise again. And the working folks of this country will rise again. When the people stand together, ain't no power ever stronger. People stand together now.
We teach our children, we plow your roads, we clean your office, we haul the heavy loads. We're the workers who make this country run. We tend the gardens and the patients, we are families, friends and students, and we'll stay here until we've won.
When the people stand together, ain't no power ever stronger. When the people stand together now. When the people stand together, ain't no power ever stronger. People stand together now.
They've got their money, they've got their name, but we'll no longer let them rig the game. And we'll expose the unseen corporate hand that keeps on taking, and in return, just once more, it's time for them to learn. This coastline is our line in the sand.
When the people stand together, ain't no power ever stronger. When the people stand together now. When the people stand together, ain't no power ever stronger. People stand together now.
From Vancouver to Prince Rupert, Fort Nelson, on and on it goes. From Haida Gwaii to Bella Bella shores. United, we will gather with our families, friends and future. It's our union, it's our lives we're fighting for.
When the people stand together, ain't no power ever stronger. When the people stand together now. When the people stand together, ain't no power
participated in the Left Coast Labor Chorus for bringing this together and bringing us together tonight. I just want to say that there is also another song contest coming up, so stay tuned for that. And if you know of any group or a union or a collective or anybody at all who might like to see and have this production of Women on the Line, grab any one of these chorus members or Penny and share the contact information. Peggy, I'm sorry. Okay, two major faux pas tonight. Peggy, I knew that. And Peggy would be happy to share the contact information. Thank you everybody for coming. I was really honored to be asked to MC. It was so much fun. And see you all next time.